You are at home giving out candy on Halloween. You hear your doorbell ring. How do you process this sound? This is a diagram of the ear. The sense of hearing begins with sound waves that enter the outer ear, or pinna. The pinna channels the waves through the auditory canal, which is the entryway for sound waves from the pinna to the eardrum. The eardrum is a tight membrane which vibrates in response to sound waves. In the middle ear, between the eardrum and cochlea, there are 3 tiny bones that pick up vibrations and transmit them to the cochlea. The hammer is a hammer-shaped small bone in the middle ear, which is attached to the inner surface of the eardrum. It connects to the anvil. The anvil is a tiny bone that passes vibrations from the hammer to the stirrup. The stirrup is a small bone in the middle ear involved in the conduction of sound vibrations to the inner ear. The cochlea is a spiral-shaped tube in the inner ear that is fluid-filled and lined with cilia, tiny hairs that move when vibrated and cause a nerve impulse to form. Within the cochlea is a stiff structural element that separates 2 liquid-filled tubes that run along the coil of the cochlea. This is the basilar membrane. Hair cells are the sensory receptors that amplify sound waves and transduce auditory information to the brainstem. The auditory nerve is a bundle of nerve fibers that carries hearing information between the cochlea and the brain. The auditory cortex is part of the temporal lobe that processes auditory information. The thalamus is a small structure located just above the brainstem between the cerebral cortex and the midbrain. Its main function is to relay motor and sensory signals to the cerebral cortex. The temporal lobe is the region where sound is processed, and wave auditory language and speech comprehension systems are located. The Eustachian tube is a tube that connects the middle ear to the back of the nose. It equalizes pressure between the middle ear and the air outside. The semicircular canals are 3 loops of fluid-filled tubes that are attached to the cochlea and inner ear. They help us maintain a sense of balance.